I guess we'll introduce our guests. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but I believe Rob Galipeau is the founder and chairperson of the Phoenix Bowls Championship. Rob, how are you doing?
Good, guys. Thanks a lot for having me on today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're right, Luke. That's it. We're founders, runners. We're the janitors, everything for the Phoenix Bowls right now. So
awesome.
Thanks very much. We're really, really excited to have the Canadian Bowler on with us. And, we're so aligned as far as mission and core values and that kind of stuff. It only makes sense that we work together. And Darryl, you look great in that shirt. I gotta tell you.
It fits perfectly, so that's great.
Luke, yours is on the way, buddy. You'll have yours next weekend.
I'm excited. I'll have it on for the next stream for sure, just so I can match up with Darryl.
Awesome.
Speaking about streaming, what's going on next weekend, Rob?
Well, next weekend we're having our very first Phoenix Championship, a challenge tournament at Burlington Lawn Bowling Club. Burlington is the home of the Phoenix Championship of Bowls. They have been so gracious to us there and welcomed us with open arms. So we're going to host our first tournament after 2 long years of planning, thanks to COVID-19. And we realize, it may not be a full blown of what we envision the tournament to totally be, but, we figure we got to step out, we got to start the ball rolling and, get people back out on the green. So we're very excited to have open pairs at Burlington next Saturday. Registration can be done through the website. And it should be a lot of fun. It'll be great because we're using the UBC scoring format, so the modified scoring format. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, I guess, in the show. And really looking forward to start the ball rolling on Phoenix Championship of Bowls. It's good stuff.
I'm really excited that you're kicking it off. I know that we hear from people all over Canada, all over the world, I guess, that they're craving things to get out to, some competition, some socializing, whatever it is, whatever gets you hyped about bowls. This event can really kick it off for you. I wanted to ask you a question just outside of that. So for yourself, tell us a little bit about how you got into bowls, what your career has been in bowls and what you've done, and then what really inspired you to make the Phoenix Bowls Championship.
Yeah, no problem. We'll spend a little bit of time on that. My career in bowls is very short. I haven't had much of a career in bowls. I am the father of a national team development team member, right? Eric's definitely paved the way as far as my experience in bowls. Eric started playing 7 years ago at Etobicoke, and he's been on quite a ride. So both, our whole family has quite enjoyed watching him develop and accomplish what he's accomplished in bowls. It's been great to see. And we met a lot of amazing people. He's had a lot of great influencers in his life in those very short 7 years. You two guys are definitely two of the main ones, which our family really appreciates very much too. But seeing bowls, and I've been spoiled, right? I've been totally spoiled from a bowls perspective. I've gotten to travel with Eric all over the world and see, the best of the best tournaments, and come back here to Canada, and the enthusiasm for the sport and the passion for the sport is there. But as you guys know, there's so many more opportunities with running bowls tournaments. And the mission and the vision behind the Phoenix was to, maybe try to raise the profile of the sport, maybe change the way tournaments are run a little bit, be a little more proactive on the sponsorship side, work more with community grassroots organizations to partnership with. Like the Canadian Bowler Phoenix Partnership is a perfect example of that, right? Together, we'll be much more effective at raising the profile of the sport. It's going to give the players a better platform to compete. And hopefully it'll just all, in general, raise the bar for the competitive players and hopefully bring new players into the sport as well. If we can introduce these new scoring formats like the Ultimate Bowls Challenge has done in Australia, games will be very quick. They'll be high scoring. It'll be fun. It'll be very exciting. And we want the best competitors in Canada right now to demonstrate that for folks and show people what bowls can be. So that's the whole idea. We want a high performance tournament with using a format that anybody, like you guys know, anybody can bowl, right? This isn't restricted to the elite players. You can run a similar type league in your clubs, and you can play 3-4 games a night because games only take 30-40 minutes. And it's just a little bit of a different approach on a game that we all love, a sport that we all love. So that's really the premise behind it.
So I got to ask you, Rob, we've talked about it a little bit on our show in the past. When people are planning these new tournaments with new ideas, obviously with the Phoenix Bowls Championship, you got some sponsors behind you and there's some money involved and you got the new format. What are some of the things that you guys looked at to stand out to have people come and play in this as opposed to like your regular 3-game or 4-game tournament, whatever you have going on?
Yeah, I think the game format's one of the biggest things, Luke. I mean, having to play 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 games in one tournament is going to be definitely different than what folks are used to. Folks are used to playing 3, 4, 5 games in a day. You're going to be in our format. You could be playing up to 10, 12 games in a day against different folks, and it'll be fun and exciting, right? As far as sponsorship goes, a lot of grassroots community sponsorship is critical to running a successful tournament. But I got to hand it to Walter and Chair Jacobs at Arrow. I just on a whim called them up and said, hey, we want to do this, right? What do you think? And Walter says, we're all in. This is great. I'm not sure if one of the major manufacturers has really gotten into sponsoring big tournaments in Canada very often. I know, again, I got a very small sample size as far as my experience goes. But Walter, it was just yes, we have to do this. This is great. So, I mean, these are folks that, sponsor the Australian Open, that sponsor UBC, that sponsor the Premier League. Now they're sponsoring the Phoenix Championship of Bowls, right? That's pretty cool. So we just think things like that are going to raise the bar for bowls in Canada. And that's what we really want to do. That's our main priority.
So you mentioned it earlier that you've obviously had some trouble with the pandemic, shutting down the start of it, and then you replanned it, and obviously that shut down again because the pandemic went a little longer than everybody expected. Now that you're coming out of it, obviously there's struggles with numbers and exposure and people getting back into bowls. They're not sure what's going on. What do you want to say to the people that are a little on the fence on whether they should come out and play or not?
Yeah, I totally understand. It's been a rough 18 months for a lot of people, right? And to come out in a social setting like this might be something that folks aren't really comfortable with. But I think BCB and OLBA has done a great job creating safe procedures and safe environments for all the players. I know there's been no issues at the clubs that I join. They've got great protocols in place to make sure the environment is safe. We're taking every precaution at Burlington as well. We're staying within all the prescribed limits as far as people goes. People obviously have to sign all the documentation. I know Burlington checks everyone's temperature as they come in just to make sure everything's good that way. So we're taking every precaution possible to make sure it's a safe environment for folks. Totally being on the sensitive side that folks may just not be ready yet. And that was one of the big things that we had to decide is this the right time yet or not? Well, I don't think there ever is really a right time, right? I think you just got to dive in and you got to go. And we understand that this tournament and the one that we're going to hold in September may not be exactly laid out the way we want it to, but it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully it'll get the message out to folks that the Phoenix will be a really great day, a fun tournament with lots of great competition, and great for the sport. So I think it's going to be a blast.
I truly do think you guys did pick the right time. Obviously, like you said, unfortunately, it's not going to be quite what it was envisioned to be. But I think if I guess we haven't really talked about it yet, but we're thinking about the Canadian Bowlers attempting to stream this event. for you guys in partnership. And if that happens, there's not a whole lot going on in the sport of bowls at the moment, so there could be a lot of eyeballs on it, which would be awesome. So I think in that aspect, I think it might be the greatest time to start.
Yeah, and that's, looking at the calendar. The calendar's pretty soft this year as far as bowls tournament goes. It sucks because obviously there's a lot of great tournaments that happen right across the country, right across the province that people want to be in. But we thought this year might be a good year to jump in, even if it's Phoenix Championship light sort of thing. It's worth kicking it off just to get people going and people back in. And next year everyone's going to be back in it. It's going to be a full schedule, and there's a lot of competition for tournaments, right? And we're totally sensitive to the fact that the entry fee for the Phoenix, it's sometimes a membership at some club, and you're spending that in the day. But we're hopefully going to give people a great experience and make it worthwhile for them. So,
well, I've always said, bowls is an underpriced sport, and sometimes we don't put the right value on the things that we're doing. The higher priced events, the higher priced memberships necessarily, and just getting it out there that you pay a little bit more, you get a bunch of games, and you have the potential to win a lot more rather than just your gas money home. So I'm big into that.
Yeah, that's good. We're really hopeful that we're going to be paying out some good prize money to folks. I know on the sponsorship side, people have been great. I mentioned Darryl. We've got other sponsors as well. FICA Marketing Worldwide. Those folks have been great with us. They've helped us with our website. I'm not a webmaster, but they've certainly helped us with our website and how to, portray what the Phoenix is to folks. So, hats off to FICA Worldwide. They've been great with us. We've got Participation. They've been involved in the tournament very well. They've supported us very well. We've also got, we're going to be announcing, actually, if I can use this opportunity right now, Haven on the Queue is going to be a cornerstone sponsor for this upcoming tournament. And they've also offered to sponsor a dinner, a catered dinner the night before our championship tournament, which will be in September. So September 17th, that evening, for all the entries that we get, there'll be like a little party at the Burlington Clubhouse the night of the 17th, and then we'll bowl on the 18th. So we're really looking forward to that as well. Yeah, thanks to Haven on the Queue.
That's awesome. It's not often you see so many sponsors for one event. Usually a club gets a bunch of sponsors and then they divvy it up amongst a bunch of tournaments. But to see such a focus on this, I know for Luke and I and the Canadian Bowler, we're really hoping that this takes off. It goes in the direction that you want it to go. It can be a big event right through the calendar for Canada and for Ontario. We're hoping that people from outside of Ontario want to come in and play in it too. So
absolutely, yeah. And we envision maybe one day that there's qualifiers across the country that can come to Ontario and play in the big tournament. So yeah, if you're out in BC, if you're out in Nova Scotia, make contact with us because we would love to be able to, in the future, run offsite qualifiers and have people qualify for the Phoenix Championship of Bowls. I think that would be awesome. That would be a great thrill.
And if you are looking to contact Rob for any questions regarding the Phoenix Bowls Championship, in the description below, Darryl has Rob's website there, the phoenixbowlschampionship.com, or sorry, phoenixbowls.com. And he also has all of our information there. And if you guys ask us any questions, we'd be more than happy to pass those on to Rob and hook you guys up.
Don't forget there's a chat too. So put your questions in chat if you have some questions or comments or anything really. So don't forget that. So we've talked about the scoring system for UBC and that you're adopting that for the Phoenix Bowls Championship. We've got a small clip. It's about 4 or 5 minutes. It goes through one end of a UBC match And Rob, we're hoping that you can talk us through it and give us an idea of what the scoring system is like, what the event is like while this is running, and give people an idea of exactly what you're talking about when you say we're doing a UBC event.
Yeah, no, that's great. That would be awesome if we can roll that.
All right, here we go.
So this is a part of one of the Ultimate Bowls Challenge tournaments. This is actually Ryan is playing against Borough Boys. You can see right there, they're in the fourth end. Look at the score, 38-37. So the primary concept with the scoring goes, leads, well, all bowls, if they get a toucher, are worth 3 points. So right there, that would be 3 points for Broadbeach for the toucher. Lead bowls, whoever's closest to the jack after lead bowls gets 3 points as well. So every single shot throughout this format has an opportunity for scoring on it, which is amazing. And the swing that you can get, it's another toucher, right? So the swing and scores can be just crazy. And I think that's exciting, right? Because nobody really is out of the game here, because with an ultimate end, with the first, second, and third closest bowls to the jack, you can score 18 points right there. The lead bowl, the closest to the jack after leads can get 3 points, and then every toucher's 3 points. So there's just a load of scoring available. And of course, when you get elite players like this, they can rack up the points pretty quickly. But I know there's a couple of great shots coming up here from Ryan at the back end of this end that Ryan is always so famous for.
So I know one of the complaints I hear a lot about from leads and why people don't want to play lead is by the time I get up and the skips are done with their stuff, my bowls are nowhere to be seen. And I don't score any points, and it doesn't really matter. So in this case, leads absolutely matter in every aspect.
They actually do, and it's funny because we're starting to, once they've run a few of these tournaments now, and you're starting to see the data collect on all these tournaments. The leads play a much more important part in this format than you'd be surprised to, because having that lead after lead bowls is super critical, and generally does eventually translate into a favorable end for your team. And it's all said and done. So we're going to skip bowls here. You can see in the scoring system right now, Orange has the first closest and Broadbeach is the second and third. That's the great thing that Mark Casey's done with UBC, is they've created this scoring system where you see all the results live. We're not quite at that point right now with the Phoenix. We'd like to be one day, but not quite yet. We've got a manual scorecard, and we'll have to make sure folks are trained up on the scorecard and manage the scores carefully. We'll also have markers out on the rinks to help you out along the way in case things get a little bit confusing, because anytime you introduce a new scoring system, it's always going to be a bit challenging. If you want to see how the scoring works and you want to watch an entire game, if you go to phoenixbowls.com under tournaments, I've actually posted a completed scorecard in this video, and you can watch all 5 ends and see how the scorecard comes into play. Here we are into skip bowls with Ryan's shot here. And there's another toucher. So now you can see Borough Boys has second and third shot. Broadbeach has the number 1 shot. So at the end of skip bowls, closest to the jack gets 10 points, second closest gets 5, third closest gets 3 points. And that gives you your 18 points for an ultimate end.
It's crazy to see the scores because you never see anything like this in bowls. Maybe on a master score where you've got 10 teams across a bunch of greens going at it, and you see these master scores, but never in a single game. It's like a basketball score almost.
Yeah.
I was going to say, sometimes you might see one lopsided score, but never quite that high anyways.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, we've watched a lot of these games, and you'll see an end start off, the team will be down 20-0 after one end, and they actually can come back. No, I won't say without a problem, but they can come back. The opportunity is there to come back in such a short period of time, which is great, right? Because that's what you want to be able to do. You want to know that you're in every game, It's great because, again, the games are over in 30 minutes. You can move on to the next one with a clean slate, and it's fun. It's very exciting.
For
I
me,
know we play games at our club quite often using the scoring system like that. We don't have a league or anything like that, but just do it casually, and it's always a lot of fun to see the way it swings.
I was going to say, for me as a coach, now here's the drive coming.
He's in the area. Has he got the result?
And he got a toucher out of it too.
Yeah, there was a toucher there too.
For me as a coach, this kind of format really does some interesting things. Because touchers are so prominent, having reaching bowls, you don't want to be short, right? If you're going to disrupt the end, if you're going to be there, even if you touch the jack and something bad goes wrong, at least you get 3 points out of it. You're not too scared, which is great. I think this offers just a lot of unique opportunities for people to learn bowls and play in a different way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it'll take a few ends for everyone to get used to it, I'm sure. But like I said, we'll have markers out there to help people along, and volunteers around to help make the day go smooth. And you play a couple ends, and you get it pretty quickly. And it definitely does change the way you play ends. It's a lot of fun. It's good. We're really looking forward to it.
So Luke, do you have anything else for Rob on the Phoenix Bowls?
I'm going to be completely honest. No, I don't have any more questions for Rob regarding the Phoenix Bowls, but I will say I am really excited. I will be playing in the Phoenix Bowls next weekend with Rob's son, Eric, so that'll be fun. Eric's always a good guy to play with, and he's probably a better bowler than me, so he can make me look good. That'll be fun. And if everybody here wants to tune in, I believe we'll be trying to stream it live to Facebook.
Yep, I think so.
And so look forward to that. If not, I believe the plan is we're going to record it and have it be posted after the fact, so it'll still be out there for your viewing purposes, but hopefully we'll have it be able to be streamed.
That's the hope. Obviously, this is our first time doing it. We're taking as many best practices from all the other streams that we've watched and been a part of, and putting them in. But the reason why we call our coaching series Technical Difficulties is because on this channel we love technical difficulties. So we'll see how it goes. Right?
Well, I just really appreciate the Canadian bowler being involved. Thanks a lot for letting me come on this morning and chatting with you guys about it, because I think there's going to be a lot of great tournaments coming up, and Phoenix is just really happy to be a part of it. We still do have a few spots available for next weekend, so phoenixbowls.com if you want to register. There's a registration button right at the top of the webpage there. You can register, or you can give me a call or email me, no problem. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm so happy you guys are involved, and have a good rest of the show.
Thanks a lot, Rob. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, take care, guys.
See you, Rob.
See you later.